Hey there, welcome. We're at part 4 of our Mansions of Madness playthrough. Things are about to start getting a little bit crazy, I think. I think we're heading into the final act of the story. We know that this is a locked door. We now have the key on Rita, and we know that our target, up to some magic spell casting stuff, is either on the other side of this door or somewhere on the other side of this door. It's in the yard casting spells from the clues that we've gathered so far. At the end of the last turn, yes, I thought so, this cultist here in the hallway chased our investigators down, and I forget exactly what he did. I don't know if he cast a spell or something, but both of our two investigators are dazed right now. So for their turns, they are not going to be able to use clues. I did want to also mention, just a quick apology. At the end of the last video, we were dealing with things in the app over here, and I had switched to the full screen mode for some reason, and then I'd never switched back to the app. It was just the last couple minutes in the video, but there was, I think that the thing I was doing with this cultist, I don't think you could see what was going on in the app. There was nothing special, nothing was really missed, but still, that's my bad. Apologies for that. I will try and keep on top of switching between these correctly. Should we get started then? I think we're doing okay on health. Just need to keep an eye on her sanity, I guess, because it's only 5 rather than 7 over here, but she hasn't taken any horror damage, so that's all good. Got plenty of items, plenty of bonuses. Well, let's just remind ourselves what is ailing Yorick. He has a broken leg, so if he ever moves more than a single space, we are going to be flipping damage face up, which actually isn't a problem because he doesn't have any other damage to flip face up. And he has a ruptured eardrum, which means that he takes a penalty to agility tests. So let's just get going. To open this, we have to use Rita, unless we do a trade action, which I'm not going to waste. So we will start with Rita, and we will end our previous Mythos phase and begin our Investigator phase. Let's click this door. A weathered door stands at the end of the hall. You hear bizarre noises from the other side. When you try the handle, you find the door is locked. A keyhole sits beneath the brass door handle. You can explore only if you have the brass key unique item. So if you remember the last time we clicked on this door, it did not have this prompt because it knew that we didn't have the key. It does keep track of that. We gained the key item after solving that puzzle box. So now we can explore. So this is our first action. As you open the door to the yard, a damp wind kicks ash from the nearby fire pit into the air of the walled-off side yard. A massive circle of runes has been carved into the earth. So, we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to find Yard 2. Beneath a bush in the yard, you spot something useful. Place the sledgehammer common item as indicated. I might go for that sledgehammer because I think that's a strength weapon, which is going to be better suited for Yorick. We'll see. Whoops. Sledgehammer. Because that 1 damage knife is just... It's not how you spell sledgehammer. So we have a sledgehammer leaning up against the wall here. 2 robed figures standing across from each other over the ritual... Sorry. 2 robed figures stand across from each other over the ritual circle, chanting. The one nearest to you seems to be in some kind of trance and hardly acknowledges your approach. spawn a cultist as indicated. So we have a cultist with a green ID. Let's take the green ID token. Let's copy one of these. Well, actually, we could just use this one, can't we? Let's take this and just attach it. Okay, so we have one cultist and it's in this space. There. And then in the upper space, the other figure lowers the hood of his robe and points at you with an ornate dagger. Excellent! Eugene has prepared the sacrifices. Spawn a priest of Dagon as indicated. And this is our William Vanderbilt. What I was going to do for the priest of Dagon, just because he's kind of a special character, rather than use that cultist, I'm going to use this just so we can easier. I could change the colours and whatnot, but I think this will be more fun. Let's get his proper token though. Priest. And we can pop you on there. And we can make him do things. Thusly. So this is Vanderbilt. Eugene, the butler, rips a length of wood from a door frame to use as a weapon. Discard Eugene and spawn a child of Dagon. Well, well, well. What is Child of Dagon? Let's just check the back of this monster, because I have not seen one of these before. Just flavor text, so it's not too strong, just a brawn value of 2. And what shall we use for this? So Eugene is in this space. We can get rid of this. And I believe he's going to be turning over here now. Is there anything over here we could use? Let's use this monster. Oops. Okay. So we have Eugene over here. We have Vanderbilt and a cultist. The ritual circle on the ground is scattered with candles, skulls, and other trinkets. If you could get these ritual components, you could stop the cult's vile magics and have enough proof to condemn the Vanderbilt family. Place an interact token as indicated. So we want to go over to the little sandcastle that they're making and kick it down. So it's actually it's not in the far space, it is actually in this first space, which could be useful. You may move one space into the explored area. Yes, I'm absolutely going to do that. Rita, get in there. You must interrupt the ritual taking place before it is complete. Right then, so that's Rita's first action. So, now what to do? So, I guess, I feel like if I get sidetracked into fighting monsters right now, I'm going to get overwhelmed. So I think I'm going to concentrate on this interact token, and because we're not doing too badly anywhere really in terms of health and horror, we will see how it goes. So for Rita's second action, she is perhaps unwisely just going to start kicking away at these pile of skulls and candles. A ritual circle is carved into the ground and scattered with components. You attempt to retrieve the ritual components, but a malign energy protects them. Let's see what the test is. Oh, it's a lore test. Using your gut and scraps of knowledge you have gathered, you attempt to remove the items without triggering the defensive magic. We have to make a lore check. You may discard any number of evidence to convert an equal number of investigation to successes. So that's good because Rita doesn't have any clues on her, but I think she does have some evidence. Yeah, she has the circumstantial evidence and she has the incriminating evidence. So we have 2 pieces of evidence here. She can convert 2 investigation symbols into successes, which is good because she has a really crappy lore. We also have our Lucky Rabbit's Foot. So let's make our disruption check using lore. What do we have? That is not great. That is just 1 success. We will roll another dice. And we get a clue. So let's discard one of the pieces of evidence. Just throw it over there. And we'll turn that into a success. So we have 2, and I think what it's going to do is just going to count these successes, and we have to go over a certain threshold. You remove several items successfully, but you trip up, causing the magic to lash out at you and burn your skin. Suffer 1 face down damage. Rita's super strong. She has 9, so she's in no danger. Okay, it is now Yorick's turn. And I think Yorick is just going to do the same thing. He's going to move in. And he's going to jump up and down on the ritual items. Let's try interacting again. Disrupt the ritual. And again, it's a lore check. And we can use evidence to convert magnifying glasses into successes. Plus evidence. We do have some evidence. We have this grotesque stone. So there's 1. Okay. So it is 3 dice. I don't think we get any bonuses to lore checks. We do not. So it's just 3 dice. We have 1 success, and we will spend one of the pieces of evidence to get a 2nd success. Should we spend the clue? I think we will. I think we're just going to go all in and turn that into a success also. Put this evidence over there, we don't need you. So that is another 3, and hopefully that will be enough. Carefully performing each step, you remove the components from the ritual circle. Almost immediately, some of the malign energy seems to fade from the air around you. You have put an end to the cult's vile scheme. Gain the ritual component's unique item, and then discard the interact token. Woohoo, boys, we've done it. Get rid of that, and we want the... what was the item? Ritual components unique item. And that is... Yorick is holding that. Okay, sure. So that was his 2nd action. 1 was a move, and then he disrupted the... so they have both taken both their actions. The investigation is complete if an investigator escapes the mansion with the ritual components unique item. Investigators win the game when the investigation is complete. So all we have to do is get a single... we just have to get that unique item out of the door. It's not a case of everybody must survive. Okay. We can do this. And that is the end of the investigator phase. We're going to have a busy old mythos phase now, because we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 monsters all roaming around. So let's see how we do. With a start, Rita Young snaps out of a fugue state to see smashed finery and deep gouges on the nearby walls. Could she have caused this damage in a blind rage? Rita Young suffers 3 damage with a strength +1 check to negate. So that's 6 dice for old Reet. So we have 2 successes. We did use that, didn't we? We did. That needs to be flipped over for this turn. We don't have anything else. So, we've negated 2 pieces of damage. But we are going to take 1. One more. Oh, this could get nasty actually. So we're going to take 1 damage and then we're going to flip all of the damage face up. This could be messy. So, let's go with it from side to side. First, grievous injury. Resolve immediately. Suffer 1 additional face down damage, then flip this card face down. How do we do this? It is 1 by 1. Okay, see, I don't know, because we're going to suffer an additional face down damage, and what we're doing here is flipping all of our damage face up. There is a part of me that thinks that we wouldn't flip this face up. However, I think we're going to just for funsies. So we've flipped this one. Let's flip this one. Disfigured. We keep this one face up. You cannot bring yourself to look in a mirror. The look on people's faces tells you all you need to know. We roll 1 fewer die when resolving influence tests. We have the same broken leg that Yorick has. There are some cards in this deck that are just no effect. I don't think we've come across a single one yet. Twisted ankle. Resolve immediately. Become restrained, then discard this card. Eee. Oh, did I cheat? At some point he used a clue, didn't he? Ah, crap. Okay, I did cheat at some point, because I swear Yorick used a clue when he shouldn't have used a clue. What did he use a clue for? I think it was to disrupt the... It must have been. Well, shit. It's kind of too late now. Okay, well... That puts a big question mark on my victory should I make it through here. Oh, that's a bit of a bummer. But, oh well. So we want restrained. Restrained. Which means that he can't move next turn. Which is annoying because he is the person that is holding... Oh no, this is Rita. Rita's restrained, that's not a problem then. Then discard this card, so that's pretty good. And then here's the one that doesn't actually have an effect, it's just a minor injury. Flip this card face down. Okay. So we have 2 permanent damage effects. What else is going to happen in this Mythos phase? The cultist moves up to 2 spaces to be in a space with as many investigators as possible, so it wants to come into the backyard with us. And this is the red cultist, which is this one, but he can't reach us. 1, 2. No investigators within 2 spaces. The cultist moves 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator, so he's coming to join us. And then the green cultist moves up to 2 spaces to be in a space, but he's not going to be able to. Cultist moves up to 2 spaces to be in a space. Where is he? Oh, it's this one. Oh yeah, so he's already in a space. For some reason I was thinking there was a cultist down here, but no. So the monster is going to attack. The cultist swings a staff wildly about with great fervour and little skill. Everybody suffers 2 face-down damage with an agility negation. So Yorick has an agility of 3, but he has ruptured eardrum, so he's only going to roll 2 dice. And it's 2 face-down damage. We have 2 losses. No success. And we have nothing that helps us re-roll, I don't think. Nope. So, we take 2 face-down damage. And then same again for Rita. Rita has an agility of 4. And that is 2 successes. So she negates both of the pieces of damage. Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt moves up to 2 spaces to be within range of as many investigators as possible. Then it attacks each investigator within range. So he moves up to 2 spaces to be within range. He's already in range, so he doesn't need to move. He's just going to attack. Vanderbilt's hand makes a twisting gesture. Suddenly you feel a hook dig into your mouth, and with a sharp tug it begins to pull you closer. We have to make observation checks at difficulty 2. So let's do Yorick. That's observation 4. Was there something that... No, there wasn't. Oh, I'm thinking of the magnifying glass that Rita has. So this is Yorick's check, and he makes a pass, 2 successes, and then I believe Rita has a 3, but she gets to roll an extra dice on observation checks. Yes, she does. So there's 4. And that doesn't look great. So she has failed. She only has 1 success. So Yorick has passed. You realise the hook is not physical but psychological. Suffer 1 face-down horror. So Yorick will suffer 1 face-down horror. But Rita, if you fail, your cheek begins to bleed as you are reeled in. Suffer... oh, balls. Suffer 1 face-down damage and move 1 space towards the monster. So Rita is being pulled this way. And she takes 1 face-down damage. Eugene moves 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator. Then it attacks the investigator in its space with the lowest agility. So Eugene is going to go 1, 2. No investigators in the space. Each investigator must resolve a horror check against the monster within range with the highest horror rating. So within range, I believe horror rating is this green number. No, it's the bottom. It's the number at the bottom. This is like awareness if you're trying to make evasion checks. It's this number. So cultists are just dudes in robes, so they're not very scary. Priest of Dagon obviously is a little bit weirder, so he is going to... we're going to do horror checks against him. So we want to pick Vanderbilt. Confirm. Vanderbilt snickers and you realise that you have stepped within a glyph etched into the ground. It glows red as you study the symbols, so for 1 damage and 1 horror, willpower checks can negate. Lore checks, rather. So we'll do Yorick first. It doesn't have any clues, so no negation. He's going to suffer a damage and a horror. So damage first. We have to flip it because it doesn't say face down. So it's just a minor injury. And 1 horror. I'm just going to give these a shuffle because I don't remember the last time I shuffled the horror deck. And then we flip it. Minor shock. Resolve immediately. No additional effect. Flip this card face down. Okay. Super. So you're fairly close to becoming wounded. You'll gain the wounded status at 7 of these cards, and insane status at 7 of these cards. Then we have to do the same with Rita. Again, a law check. What do we have here? That is a success, and that is a success. So both of those are negated for her. And that's that. We can go into the next turn. So Rita is restrained. She can't move. That's what that means, right? It just cannot actually move. Yeah. I think we have a decent option here. I am going to, with Yorick, I am going to run. He's going to use a move action. Now, what was the rule for the broken leg? If you move more than a single space as part of a move action, flip 1 damage face up. So I'm going to be flipping these as I sprint away. But he's the fellow with the evidence that we need to get out of the house. Before we can make a move action, we have to evade one of these monsters. We only have to evade. Do you evade one or do you evade both? I think you just evade one. I'm not actually sure. I don't want to open up the rules and check. I might have this wrong, but I think you only evade the monster that has the highest value in this corner. I think that's what that value is there for. As these are both cultists, it doesn't matter. But yes, he's going to make a move action. And then he's going to try and run out the room. So let's say he's going to evade the red cultist. The cultist reaches out as you run by, but does not grab you. Make an observation check, difficulty 2. When we are... No, we don't. It was this item here. Roll 1 additional die while evading a monster. But we never picked it up. Not a problem. So it's a 4 check. Because we have observation 4, difficulty 2. I really wish we had some clues in our pocket right now. Well, that's crap. 1 success, 3 clues, and then we have nothing that we can use. Nope, we do not. Okay, so we fail. If you fail, the cultist knocks your possession to the ground. Drop 2 random items. Please don't drop the ritual components. Please. Please. What it does mean, though, is we do still get to keep our movement. It doesn't say that you forfeit your action. Okay. So, I'm not going to roll, I'm going to just drop the dice just to explain what I'm going to do here. We have 6 things here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to drop the Holy Cross. And that is a 4. And we're dropping the... Actually, I don't think that counts as an item. It says 2 random items. And I don't believe we can drop that. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4. We drop the lamp. I think that's how it works. I might have that wrong, but it's minor. I think it mainly is involved in one of the investigators has a special rule that specifies items, and I don't think it works for spells. If I've read the rules correctly, I may not have. So we drop 2 random items, but it doesn't make us forfeit our action. So we're going to move 1, and then as we move our second, and note we're not going to go this way because I don't want to deal with the Child of Dagon. I'm going to move this way into this room and just buy myself a little bit of time. We do actually have to flip over one of these pieces of damage, so I'm going to roll a dice again. On a 1 or a 2, we're going to open this card, 3 or 4 this card, 5 or 6 this card. And it is a 5, so we're going to flip this card. Stinging Pain, resolve immediately. Drop 2, oh my god, this is not good. Drop another 2 random items, then flip this card face down. So chances are, because I don't think we can drop this, we are going to end up dropping one of these, I think. So we'll do the same. On a 1 or a 2, we drop this. On a 3 or a 4, we drop this. On a 5 or a 6, we drop the knife. Okay, so we've dropped the knife. I should actually pick these back up and put them... These are on this space. This is a little bit fiddly. What are you getting stuck on? Oh, you're getting stuck on these. Okay. And then there's a knife here. And then we have to drop another item, so we'll just do odd. Odd number is the textbook. Even number is the very important quest item that we really don't want to drop. So we want an odd number. Please be odd, please be odd, please be odd. It is not, so we've dropped the ritual component. So we'll need to spend our, I guess our second action. What I was hoping to do is carry on running to get some distance away from the Dagon over here. Okay, so we dropped 2 random items, flip this back down, and we're going to spend our next action picking both of these back up. So yeah, that just slowed us down, sadly. Okay, we have Rita's turn. I think, Rita, you are just going to... You're just going to attack Vanderbilt, I think. To attack you with our machete. You advance slowly on your foe, taking careful note of its footing. Observation check 2. We roll 4 dice because we have the magnifying glass. That's a bad roll. That's a very, very, very bad roll. I should flip this back over while I remember. It's not going to make any difference to here because we can't succeed. So what's the fail state? If you fail, you register movement as your opponent's foot rises, kicking you and pushing you backward. So again, that flavor text that we had earlier. Let's attack again. Brandishing your blade, you trust a quick strike to outrace your enemy's defenses. Agility check, difficulty 2. And again, you are not rolling very good. Nothing we can do there, we can't fix that, so it's a fail state again. If you fail, your speed comes at the cost of accuracy and your blade misses its mark. So Rita's turn was a bit of a blowout. We are done. Mythos phase. A spell leaps unbidden into your mind. This Mythos event affects the investigator with the lowest willpower. I think we're both 4. But this sounds positive. A spell leaps unbidden into your mind. But no. In situations like this, I believe we choose. That's what it typically is in these Lovecraft games. If it's a tie, then the player chooses, or the players choose, because they usually co-op. So I'm gonna have it proc on Rita. You attempt to decipher the spell. Lore check. Difficulty 1. We have a lore value of 3. And we do not get a success. If you pass, you realize casting it would be a terrible idea. Actually, before we... Let's see if we can flip that and get a reroll. There's a success. Woohoo! So we do pass. If you pass, you realise casting it would be a terrible idea. Red cultist is going to move 2 spaces toward the nearest investigator. So you are going to move up here to join this little gang. Monster attacks. The cultist lurches forward and jabs you in the ribs, then swings the staff around to bludgeon your limbs. Suffer 2 damage with a negation from strength. There's some successes, so we've negated all the damage. The green cultist moves 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator. You're going to join the party also. Monster attacks. The cultist fends you off with a staff, shuffling forward with care. Observation check, difficulty 1, and we roll 4 dice because we have the magnifying glass. There's some successes. If you pass, you'll stand your ground and offer no chance to attack. Vanderbilt moves 2 spaces toward the nearest investigator, then attacks. Vanderbilt disappears into the shadows, though little time to react as you are ambushed. A agility check, difficulty 2. That is a fail, right? Yeah, we have 1 success and nothing that we can use to change it. If you fail, your foe catches you off guard and pins you to the ground, suffer 2 damage and become restrained. So we're restrained again, and we suffer 2 damage. Let's put that back and just give these a shuffle, just in case I didn't shuffle them earlier. So we have to flip these. So we're up to 7 damage here. Demoralizing injury. You gag at the scent of your own blood. Suffer 1 additional face-down horror. So we're going to take a face-down horror, a broken arm, keep face up. If you ever have more than 2 items, drop all but 2 of your items. So I do get to choose, but I have to drop a crap load of items right now. So let's take that horror, face-down horror, and then we have to drop all but 2 of these items. We're going to keep the weapon, and I don't think we're going to need that. Well, I forgot this. This would have been useful if I'd remembered. We don't need the puzzle box anymore, we don't need the key anymore. Let's keep that, because that would probably have saved a bunch of negative effects. I'll take this away. And then we have all these items. That I'm just going to leave, say, here. And they're all in this space where she is. Eugene moves 2 spaces toward the nearest investigator, then it attacks the investigator in its space who has suffered the least horror. So it's going to move 2 spaces towards... Boom. Me. Okay. And then it's going to attack. He has 8 health. Oh, good lord. Eugene moves forward, feinting left and right before going in for the kill. Observation check, difficulty 2. Pass. If you pass, you manage to catch your foe off guard and land a heavy blow. If you fail, your foe's fist slams into your gut. So we do land a blow, but we don't do any damage to it, sadly. I thought we'd get some free damage in there. Each investigator must resolve a horror check against the monster within range. So, Rita is going to resolve a horror check against Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt holds a sphere of dark crystal in one hand and reaches out towards you with the other. Make a lore check, difficulty 2. Which we fail. If you fail, you recall the darkest deeds of your life, things done to you and things done by you. Flip 2 horror face up and become dazed. So we don't have horror, we only have 1 horror to flip. Minus shock, resolve immediately. That's just, I don't know if you saw that. It's just the no additional effect horror. And become dazed. So we are again restrained. It's what, that one on top, isn't it? So that's just clues, but she doesn't have any clues to use, so that's not a problem. And then Yorick has to do a horror check against Eugene over here. Eugene's throat swells to a disgusting size before letting loose a horrifying screech. The noise rattles your teeth and twists your stomach. We suffer 2 horror with a strength +1 negation. No, not strength, willpower +1 negation. We have a will 4, is that right? Yes, we do. And we also had a cross, but I think we dropped the cross on the ground somewhere, so we don't have that anymore. But still, we can make roll 5 dice, and we have lots of successes. Right then. What we really want to do right now is get away from this dude. If we can successfully evade and keep moving, how many spaces are we away? 1, 2, 3. So we have to use 2 actions to get here. Actually, I forgot I was supposed to put one of these there. So we can't win this turn. We could if we were Rita. She could move 1, 2, 3 and then spend the second action, but oh well. Let's make an evade action against old Eugene with Yorick. Eugene slams you bodily, attempting to bear you to the ground. Strength check, difficulty 2. We have nothing here that's going to help us. Nope. I've done this the wrong way around. Here's what I should have done. What I should have done first is use Rita, who's over here, and she should have fought one of the cultists, hoping to kill it, which would then have given Yorick a clue that he could spend on this turn. I've already started now, so I'm going to carry on, but I think that would have been the better play, rather than go straight to Yorick. Eugene slams you bodily, attempting to bear you to the ground. You have to make that strength check. And we get our successes. If you pass, you push your foe away. Okay. So we've managed to do the evade. So, 1, 2, and because we moved a second space, we have to do the broken leg rule. If you move more than a single space as part of a move action, flip a damage face up. We're going to roll a dice to pick one of these randomly again, with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rule. That is a 6, so we're going to flip this one. Stinging pain, oh my god. Drop 2 random items, then flip this card face down. Ay ay ay. Okay, so we're doing this whole thing again. That's really annoying. 'Cause it means that Eugene would have been 1, 2, 3. I swear she keeps moving. That's creepy. Because she should be there. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. They would have been equidistant, so I would have been able to choose that Eugene would have gone after Rita up here, but as it stands, he's not going to be able to... Well, maybe we don't lose the ritual components. Maybe I'm being... I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, because we're going to ignore the Feed the Mind spell. So we have a 5. So we've dropped this, and then even, odd. So even, we've dropped these 2. So we still have our knife, but these 2 items are on the floor, And I'm going to use my second action to pick them back up. So we go back to Rita. Rita is going to fight a cultist. She's going to fight the red cultist with her machete. She is, I think she's still restrained and dazed right now. We have to make an agility check with a difficulty 2. We do have... No, we don't, because she's got a broken arm, so she doesn't have her rabbit's foot anymore. Roll 1 additional die while a monster is attacking you, so that's not included on this. So we only have 1 success. We fail. If you fail, the figure catches your wrist and you clutch for another weapon to see the attack through. If you have another bladed weapon, the monster suffers damage equal to that weapon's damage. Huh. If you fail, the figure catches your wrist and you clutch for another weapon to see the attack through. So we don't have 2 bladed weapons, sadly. Let's attack again. Your opponent rushes forward and you lift your blade to receive the charge. Willpower check, difficulty 2. And it's a fail. If you fail, you flinch away at the last moment. Okay. And we go to Mythos. Light fades from around you, leaving leaving anything even inches from your face obscured. Place darkness in each space in bedroom 1. Which is here. I don't think we need worry about that. This Mythos event affects each investigator in a space containing darkness. No effect. Red cultist. Wants to be adjacent. There is something weird. Rita keeps, at some point she keeps scooching over here. And I don't want her to be doing that. You stay there. Okay, red cultist wants to be adjacent, so he's going to move here. And then attack. Cultist's HUD slips back, revealing the face of an old friend, so it's that willpower check with a difficulty 2. Which we fail. If you fail, you cannot help but obey. Move 1 space toward the cultist. Okay. Then become dazed and restrained again, which is no problem because we're already dazed and restrained. And then green cultist is going to move to be within range, so it's already within range. The cultist with arms uplifted chants the words to some vile incantation, suffer 2 damage with a law negation. That is nothing, so we're going to take 2 damage. You're getting very close. In fact, yep, I think that is a wound. First of all, we have to resolve these because they're not face down, they are just 2 damage. So if any of these get put back, then we wouldn't be on 9. Back spasm. Drop a random item, then flip this card face down. So we'll do odd number is the machete. So we're going to drop our machete. And then this one. Another broken arm. So we have 2 broken arms. That's quite funny actually. So, what happens here? We have 9 points of damage, and she has 9 health. So she immediately becomes wounded. Which isn't too bad, necessarily, except that it means that she is 1 step closer to being eliminated, to dying, essentially. When you become wounded, you get rid of all of your face-down damage, but you keep all of your face-up damage, which is important, and it's why face-up damage is awful. So if I take another 5 damage now because I'm already wounded, I just basically die. So we took both of that damage. Vanderbilt moves 2 spaces toward the nearest investigator. So Vanderbilt is going to move into this space and attacks me. Vanderbilt hooks 1 arm around you, then pounds with fist and knee over and over. Suffer 3 damage with strength negation. Jeez, that's not great. So we're going to suffer 2 damage. We suffer a face-down horror and no additional effect. Okay. And then Eugene is going to move 2 spaces toward the nearest investigator, which is to say he's going to go bonk, bonk, and come back here to mess around with Yorick. Then attack the investigator in the space. Eugene peels back both lips and teeth to reveal a second, more awful set of teeth within. Oh gosh, willpower check with a difficulty of 3. Jeez. That's a fail. If you fail, you cry out loud and stagger backward, injuring yourself. Suffer 1 damage and 2 face-down horror, then flip 2 horror face up. Oh my god, sugar. So we're going to take 1 damage. Concussion. Resolve immediately. Discard a clue, then flip this card face down. No clues to discard. Suffer 1 damage, 2 face down horror. Have I just gone insane? No, not yet. Very close. Then flip 2 horror face up. So I need my 6-sided die. So we're just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across here. That is a 5. Panic. Suffer 1 additional face down damage. Crap. Okay. So we need to just keep track of this. We've taken 1 additional face down damage, which means that we are going to be wounded now. But we need to do the horror first. So we're going to roll this again. And that is 6 this time. Nyctophobia. You are not afraid of the darkness exactly, but you are afraid of what the darkness might be concealing. Whenever you end your turn in a space with darkness, you suffer a face-down horror. That's not a problem. But we are now wounded, so we're going to get rid of the face-down damage. And we're going to take the wounded condition. Which again just means that we can only use the move action once per round, but it shouldn't be a problem because we are very, very close to achieving our goal right now. Okay. And then we must do horror checks. Okay. So again, Rita is going to do the Vanderbilt horror check. Law, difficulty 2. That is a pass. And Yorick is going to do a Eugene horror check. You notice Eugene's webbed hands have dried blood crusting under long yellowed nails. Suffer 3 face down horror with willpower negation. Oh my gosh. we have just one success. So we're going to take 2 face down horror and go insane. Wonderful. Assuming both of these stick, they could disappear. They could be the type of card where you flip it and then it says get rid of. But no, that one is a keeper. Frayed nerves, keep face up, roll 1 fewer die while resolving a willpower test. So we're going to keep this bad boy. That did not quite work. So, during Yorick's flight from the house, in his panicked, I must escape with this, he has seen too much and he's gone insane. Which feels thematically appropriate in a way. I can see that happening in one of these stories. So we need to pick, let's give this a shuffle, we need to pick one of the insane cards. I'm just going to take the first one. And let's see what the effect on the back is. So he is now wounded and insane. He is obsessive. This could finish the game for us. You do not win the game as normal. Instead, you win only if the investigation is complete and there are no search tokens on the board, otherwise you lose the game. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 outstanding search tokens. This just got a lot more difficult. I guess we're going to have another video. I'll see you in part 5. Thank you for watching. See you soon.